Hello, everybody. Welcome to Profiles, your favorite podcast that used to have a sheet as the backdrop. I'm going to have to change that intro and pretend that never happened. Well, it's not like I have much better going on in here, but at least it's interesting things to look at.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm AgentChuckles. I'm here with Stephen the Writing Dad. And this is
that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go.
This is Plastic Profiles. This is part 2 of our Valentine's Day extravaganza. I guess it's not really that exciting. It's like eating Sizzler on Valentine's Day. It's not that exciting.
Hey! I used to love Sizzler.
Yeah, I just saw a commercial for a 1991 commercial for Sizzler.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That used to be the thing. That used to be.
I didn't realize they had lobster.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Now knowing what I know as an adult, I'm like, oh, Sizzler. That was a terrible place.
On the commercial, the sneeze guards looked like they were just above nose level.
Oh, that's what it was.
So your eye germs couldn't get on it, but everything down here was full.
You know, and then the people that can't speak properly, they spit when they talk. Tastes tobacco.
They pre-digest everything. So this is part 2, following up part 1 for Flint in our G.I. Joe Valentine's Day, what do we call that? Couples month, I guess is what we're calling this. With Valentine's Day and in the off-coming attractions. I don't know. So it's February 11th today, isn't it? Look at it all, February 11th out there. Hopefully this isn't this is what it used to be like in the before times. So who else could we be playing today to go with Flint in our couples episode, our first couples episode of the month, but Lady Jaye.
Lady Jaye.
Sweet Lady Jaye. Bum, bum, bum. So we have 3 interpretations to look at. So let's just get into this. Let's do this.
Let's
see what Lady Jaye is all about. So she came out in 1985. This is her file card. Covert Operations, codename Lady Jaye. File name Hart Burnett Allison R. Primary military specialty intelligence. Secondary military specialty personnel clerk. Oh, we have some hot personnel clerk talk coming up. Get ready. Yeah. And then the spike just goes down in viewership. Birthplace Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Grade E4 Mafia. Woo. Lady Jaye graduated from Bryn Mawr and did her graduate work at Trinity College in Dublin, where she acquired the faint Gaelic lilt that adorns her speech. An accomplished actress and mime, as well as a studied linguist, she can easily pass as a native in France, Italy, Poland, Russia, Germany, Afghanistan, Spain, and Portugal. Airborne and Ranger qualified. We're just going to skim over that. So this is really the most interesting part of all this for me, but we'll come back to that. We're coming to that. So graduated intelligence school, Fort Hullabird, qualified expert M16, M19, 11A1, and reflex crossbow. Lady Jaye doesn't go in for that phony wig and rubber mask brand of disguise like those jokers on Mission Improbable.
Right. Who needs
she
that?
Becomes, you know what? The vibe I totally get from this is it's probably Hawk, but Hawk when he's like 75 and he doesn't quite understand modern references. You know, like
he's the old dude. Just like
he doesn't go in for that phony wig and rubber brand mask like disguise of those jokers on Mission Improbable. Yeah, like she becomes the subject, body language, subtle gesture, correct shading of dialect, the right look in the eye, cloaked and sandaled. She can squat down with a blanket or a basket of oranges. A blanket of oranges. Because it's in her knapsack, like a Boxcar Willie. A basket of oranges in any Middle Eastern marketplace and blend in perfectly.
There you go.
So, my initial theories is that she's basically the replacement for Scarlet.
Right.
So
She's
Scarlet
a spy.
very covert operations, intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
Ranger qualified. Scarlet had a lot more training as far as sniping and that sort of thing. But yeah, and please, gentlemen, keep in mind all these classic images were brought to us by 3D Joe's.
3D Joe's. All right. 3D Joe's, bro.
All right, let's move on.
Nobody bats 1,000, baby. Nobody bats 1,000.
Hey, look, I've still got Hall of Fame numbers.
Hey, there you go.
My sweet Lady Jaye, When I See You Again. See in the writing tab. What's that from?
Don't ask.
I know. I wouldn't have even known either. It's the Rolling Stones, but yeah, no, I don't know either. So what we do know about Lady Jaye is that the name Lady Jaye is in reference to Lady Jaye Bacall's wife, who is co-founder of Griffin Bacall, the animation studio. They own Sunbow, who did the animation for the cartoons.
Very cool.
So Lady Jaye comes from Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. It's a mid-sized island where 56% of the homes are occupied seasonally. Additionally, as of 2016, about 50 millionaires had homes there.
Wow.
So what does that tell us? In addition, with her college education, which is coming here, she's got a little wealth in her family, probably. Either that, or she lives on the poor end of town, and because she's so good, was able to get through everything with grants and all that, which is possible too. It's possible too, because the 56% of the homes are occupied seasonally, maybe because they can't afford to go anywhere else. I don't know, but
facts.
No judgment, no shade. That's kind of where I live, actually. Lot of seasonal homes here where I live, but
nice.
We're not talking about me yet.
We're not going to talk about that flex right now. It's kind of like where I live.
So she is sort of another version of Flint so far, because she went to Bryn Mawr, an all-female college in Pennsylvania, with a 31% acceptance rate. It was the first institution to offer graduate instruction to women. It's a very prestigious place. She's a smarty pants as well.
Nerd. Excuse me.
Yeah, nerds. She graduated U.S. Army's Airborne School, BAC, 3-week course at Fort Moore, formerly Fort Benning. She is a 5-jump chump. She got her lead wings. She completed Ranger School, 62-day course at Fort Moore. 2 things to remember here. 1, Ranger training has a heavy focus on mountain training and survival. Keep that in the back of your noggin there. 2nd, in the real world, the first females to graduate Ranger School were Captains Kristen Greist and Shay Haver in 2015. We talked about that a little bit with Scarlet.
Yep.
Now, her secondary MOS, for you personnel clerk fans, they perform routine clerical and administrative support duties to collect and maintain military personnel records. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's right.
So, so she did graduate from the Fort Holabird. So some things about Fort Holabird. It was established in 1918. That's not 1918 for you keeping score at home, as Camp Holabird. It was named after West Point graduate and Army Quartermaster General Samuel Holabird from 1826 to 1907. In 1950, it was changed to Fort Holabird and housed the U.S. Army Intelligence School from 1954 until 1971, as well as the Counterintelligence Records Facility. It was closed, however, in 1973. So, if G.I. Joe is happening in the real time that they're released, then she debuted in 1985. This would suggest that she's been in the Army for some time, before she made her appearance in the G.I. Joe team, and that she's older than I would say she's generally depicted, as is Flint. In my, if he were able to do all of those things, and the helicopter school, he would, if that. he would have to be older as well. I don't think that's why I don't think Flint did the hell. I think the helicopter thing was just a red herring, much like communism. And I'll always work in Clue whenever I can.
Hey,
Clue.
nice. I like it.
I always got 6 discs of Clue loaded. Okay, so it's nothing really. It's not a character thing. It's just interesting to note that if she did go to Fort Holabird early 70s, and
well, you know,
that would have been 14 years ago.
Makes sense for a group like G.I. Joe, because these are basically the best of the best. They were selected from a pool of people who've stood out. So it makes sense that have
100%.
more experience, that and have been through some things, are selected group. So I would imagine that the majority of people in G.I. Joe itself are older. They have more life experience. They have more training and things like that. 30s and 40s. Like I would see that.
I think you're onto something there. I think you're onto something. It's definitely a who's who of
absolutely
people. It's sort of like if you can remember the Men in Black scene when Will Smith has just showed up and he's sitting down and he's got the army, the military, because there wasn't just army, it was army. I think there was Air Force. There might have been a Marine. The guys sitting around waiting to get, brought into the process because they're the best of the best.
Right. Yeah.
With honors, I think those guys probably left there and then went to go join G.I. Joe.
Agreed.
I think that's very possible. And it could be. It could be.
That idea. I like it.
Yeah.
Me.
So I suppose that she's a 35W human intelligence linguist. As a human intelligence collector recruit, you'll go to the Defense Language Institute, DLI, for language training or test on your language for proficiency. So if you already know languages coming in, you can test out of these things and so you don't have to do it all. You'll be responsible for providing support to key Army leaders by collecting information about the enemy's forces' strengths, weaknesses, and potential battle areas by debriefing and questioning human intelligence sources and analyzing and preparing intelligence reports. Requirements of 10 weeks of basic and 15 weeks of AIT. So, yeah. Not really a whole lot to say about Lady Jaye because most of it is all Mission Improbable stuff. Like I don't, I've got a little bit on that with the Zartan episode, but I'm not going to go into what mask she wears or her brand of sandals. Like how many oranges can she fit in a basket? I don't have anything for that. So that's all we got. She went to Ranger school. She's Ranger qualified. So let's get into the toy.
Let's do it.
It came out in 1985 alongside Flint and several others. This is the front of the card here. She has a different look on her face. She's attractive, but very stylized. Like I could see that face in like The Great Gatsby. Like it's a very classic, like she looks like a flapper to me. Yeah. Like the way she's depicted there. But yeah.
You can see that.
And that zipper is awful low there, Missy.
It sure is. He needs to breathe.
Lady Jaye. Okay. So here is the figure.
She looks so dumpy. Like
yeah, it doesn't quite translate as much as I squint. Maybe it does a little bit. Like maybe no, it just doesn't quite translate. But there's a lot of cool things here with this figure. So she has this javelin weapon, which I surmise, I think that has something to do with the mountain training she might have received in the Rangers. Yes. She can shoot it out or throw it or whatever you want her to do with it. And the cartoon, she was always chucking that thing, but it looks like maybe it's supposed to be fired. I don't know. It's not a real thing. I don't know if you know this, but it's not a real thing.
I wondered.
It's not a javelin launching branch of the Army.
Where can I get me one of those javelins? That just sounds cool.
You're allowed to buy the javelin gun. You can't have javelins to go with it, though.
No,
That makes it illegal.
that's. They never let you have this fun nowadays. You know,
No, it's all about stifling the fun. So she does have a knife molded on her boot.
That's right.
She does have a backpack. She has a video camera with strap, and with those days, that thing would probably only weigh 25 to 30 pounds. Just on its own. So very, very secretive and hush hush.
That's right.
Cool thing about the costume, there's a couple cool things though, is on her hat, she has her jump wings. Her
Sweet.
five jump chump wings right there on her hat. Not my hat, her hat.
All right.
And then she has a cool Tampo patch on her sleeve. And I couldn't find a close-up picture of it, but it's so the general shape I have, if you see my example there, is shaped like that. And it looks more like a spearhead.
Okay.
And then there's a scroll, not a scroll, a tab across it. And the tab could say Ranger or it could say Airborne. And she could wear either. I believe that I think it says Airborne, but it's hard to tell at that size. But going with the wings that she has here, it would make sense if it said Airborne there. Gotcha. And she wouldn't have the Ranger scroll because she's not in a Ranger unit, but it could say Ranger as well. And then this is the closest thing I could find. Not obviously not the right colors, but it does have the it is pointing the correct way. But that's for the 2nd Field Force. They were stationed or primarily in Saigon during the Vietnam era, so it makes it totally possible that they were using that as an influence. But yeah, I couldn't find anything quite like this. I found other spears. They were just pointing in different directions, and sometimes there's 2 of them or whatever. But or it could be an arrowhead. But this is the closest thing I could find. If you made the background, green and made that arrow black and blacked out the sword, it would kind of look like that. So I didn't find any real matches, but so there's that figure. Now this is the classified Lady Jaye box. And the artwork. The artwork is by Scott Fisher. You could find him at scottmfisher.com.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I like that poster. And I imagine Dallas Cowboy fans like this poster. But I don't know where. So, yeah, we'll get into that. So, Instagram at Scott M. Fisher. So, yeah, it's great artwork. This is how I see Lady Jaye in my head. Not so much. Like, I'll see this, and then I think about the classic figure, and I'm like, get that classic figure out of here. I don't think about that. This is
get it out of the way. Get away. Ew. Like, just do that.
Better. I like it better.
Oh, this is pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's neat.
Pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
So this is the classified Lady Jaye breakdown. So she does come with her, I don't know, man, spear gun, whatever you want to call that.
Just in case she has to, fight saber-toothed tigers in the wild.
You never know when the water life begins to evolve legs and will just run out of the water.
True. And she's ready.
I speared some carp that just grew toes, man.
I don't play around.
Yeah. I don't muck with no walking carp. So yeah, there's those spear things. You can put them in the gun. You can make her look like she's throwing it, however you like it. It does come with extra tips. More on that later. She has a knife. She does have a Joe Pro molded on her belt. Now, the cool thing is that you can take her hair piece off and put on the hat, which has its own hair. So it looks like you can recreate the hat look.
Yeah.
And so that way she has her stylish hair and also can wear a hat.
Nice. Because she is a lady. That's right.
Yes. And so that Tampo on her hat is the that's the star business from that poster. Like that's all in her hat there. It's sort of supposed to be like GI Joe logo sort of thing.
Right. They didn't steal that from the Dallas Cowboys. Oh.
No, not really. Almost. And then her backpack, you can put in the extra tips, and it does have this articulated like surveillance camera, like kind of thing. Yeah. So there's that one. And we have a wrinkle though. We also have the Walmart exclusive retro Lady Jaye. And that artwork is not ideal. Much like the Baroness artwork, I try to burn it out of my brain whenever I can.
This is just I'm here.
Yeah. I brought deviled eggs.
Why do I feel like they make it?
Do you like deviled eggs? Yeah.
Egg salad for you.
Yeah. So this Lady Jaye has the jump wings on her hat and is a different shade of green. If you look, this is a little bit more subdued green, and this is a little bit brighter green. So it's kind of more supposed to be a more one-to-one with the original toy, is what it's supposed to, emulate. Okay, so we have a spear gun. We have one spear, and we have 2 tips to play with. She has a knife. She has a Joe Pro on her belt still. She has the hat. I don't know if it comes off, but she doesn't come with the extra hairpiece. It's just that's what you get. And then she has her 15-pound mini VHS cassette camera. No, I think I'm just kidding. I think it's the same exact. No, that's right. That one doesn't come with it. That one's got the backpack. Yeah. So she has backpack and then just her regular micro cassette VHS recorder.
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then she has a stand. So, Lady Jaye or Lady Nay, what do you got? You want me to go first? I can go first on this if you want.
You can go first. Go ahead.
I pick none of. No, I'm gonna go classic. And I'm going classic because the standard classified has that Joe star thing on it. If it had the jump wing, like if you put the hat on the correct classified, let me say it differently. If you take the retro hat and put that on the regular classified, I might have picked that one.
Okay.
And I know it's a little thing, but this is a show that all we have are little things. And that's the one I'm going with. I think that the new one or the retro Walmart retro is just a blow up of the first one in my mind.
I don't like that one at all.
Yeah, it's got makeup on, so it gives it I think the face looks better in person, but they literally made a point to say, look, she has makeup on. So
very high cheekbones.
Yeah. It's the same face as the other one. It's just she's just painted up like that. So and my theory is that if it's a 1-to-1 interpretation, the original figure, then I'm always going to go original figure. So I'm going the original Lady Jaye, the classic, even though it's hard to pick that one because she looks like that.
Very, very dumpy. Very dumpy. And that's what I'm gonna say. She looks very, very dumpy right there.
Even the writing dad, bring in the harsh. All right.
I'm gonna be real with you. I gotta be honest.
I know.
My opinion.
Yeah, no, she's look, they can't all be stunners.
You know what though? I'm not
even though she's kind of supposed to be, I think. But
yeah, she's supposed to be a stunner. No, she's supposed to be a stunner. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask who you're channeling there, but I think I know. Who do you got?
I'm going with the classified.
Okay, the middle one. All
The
right.
middle. I'm going with the classified. Now, I got to break this down because I put a lot of thought into this. I truly did. The file card itself doesn't really give you anything. She doesn't have break down any real specialties other than she can fit in to almost anywhere, in
Right.
the European world, right?
Right.
So what that tells me is that she's basically used for surveillance, covert operations. She's a spy. She's gathering intelligence from that. Because why else would you use somebody like that unless it's to infiltrate, to get information? Because she can blend in. She can go in and be just a regular person. Like, she doesn't stand out in those fields. Like, you're not going to go to the bazaar and look at her and say, no, she doesn't fit. This one does not belong. I like it because if you look at the figures also, this one has a little bit more color to her. Her complexion, the way her hair is styled, her facial features are very, she's supposed to be a lovely person, but she's also be able to stand out in places like Portugal and Spain, and Russia. And those are like the symmetry that she has there. I think that flows well with that particular figure. I'm not too concerned about the weaponry that she chooses that comes with it, because I really don't think that with everything that was on the file card, or the little bit that was on the file card, the weapons make a big difference, especially when you're talking about the whole spear thing. I'm still wondering how she's going to chuck that thing.
Like Batman.
Like, wow, oh God, the recoil.
Yeah,
so,
in all honesty, I don't think Hasbro was too concerned with the weapon they gave her.
They were just like, yeah, just give her something.
All right, just spear gun, whatever.
Right. We got to just give her something. That's cool. Spear. It'll make her stand out. So that's where I go with. I like the classified version of it. I can't go with the classic figure. The classic figure just looks horrible. Like, no, it's
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It really does.
Ugly girls need love too.
Right. And there's just nothing in the file card that makes me think, okay, the way she's dressed, anything in her gear is going to make her stand out, because there's nothing in the file card that says, okay, she's geared towards demolitions or anything like that. It's, she basically, this is what she looks like. And she that's it. So that's why I went there. I know that was long-winded. I usually don't go in like this, but I feel very strongly. Okay.
I like how you're just like, that first one is ugly and I will not pick it.
It's trash. It's trash.
She's uglier than a bag of mashed assholes. I'm gonna probably bleep that out. But I cannot pick it. You will not make me.
I will not. I have standards.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that was heavy.
There you go.
That was heavy.
Well, I think now is the time that I've been most looking forward to.
Ooh, yeah.
Who are we going to cast as Lady Jaye?
I want to see who you picked.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see who you pick too. Yeah. I'll go first on this. Yeah. In our latest installment of And this is Casting Call, where we pick an actor or actress to portray the G.I. Joe or Cobra character. Our one and only rule is that we have no rules. But the one rule that we try to have is, I can see who you picked down there, they have to be from the area or location. Did I just say that? Am I looping around? I think it might be. No? They have to be from the area or location, territory, province, as the character that they're casted as. So I picked for my character Julianne Nicholson.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say she's classically considered a smoke show like Lady Jaye generally, I think, kind of is. Mm-hmm. She's definitely attractive, and Absolutely. She's got the spunk. I think Lady Jaye is full of spunk. And she can use a pistol. And I liked her because of her look.
I like it.
She could be from anywhere,
Yes, I can see that.
Is she American? Is she Canadian? Is she from another place where white people are? She could be from España. I don't know what people from Portugal look like, but she could be Portuguese.
It's a mix. It's a mix then.
Yeah. She could be French. Definitely could be French, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, any place where white people are from, she could be it.
So, I see that.
So, yeah, not, I didn't pick Farrah Fawcett from Cannonball Run with the zipper pulled down, which is what I always have in my mind when I think of the Lady Jaye art. But wait, was she in that? Not Farrah Fawcett. I don't know. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. So, Steve the Writing Dad, who did you pick?
I picked Jenny Slate.
Yeah.
Learn a couple of things, and again, I will go with the facial features of this woman. Like, you looked at this woman, and she's very serious. She can pass for anywhere in the Middle East. She could pass for from Spain, Portugal, maybe Russia. Because I like her look, and I think that she just fits perfectly in that.
I was not too far from picking her myself.
No.
I think the only reason I didn't is because she generally skews more comedy.
She does.
I shouldn't have I didn't hold that against Rob Riggle. But I think I kind of like the look of Rob Riggle and my pick, Julian Nicholson, together. But Rob Riggle and her, I don't think he'd complain.
No, I mean, he did. What's wrong with you, dude? I think that she does have a very. I like her look a lot.
Right.
And like your pick, I don't think that she's considered like a classically sex symbol. She's not.
Right,
she's
right.
one of those. But there's something about her look that just. It's that something that, it's that attractive, that allure.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, she's got a in her face too that you kind of like a friendliness, like would be perfect for an undercover work intelligence. Because people want to like you because you've got the look.
That's right.
Look.
Woo.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I like your pick better. I think both could work, but I like your pick better.
Ooh, nice. Sweet.
And because I think that she could pass for way more places than
that's where I was going with this, especially.
Yeah. I think my girl looks kind of like the artwork, and your girl looks like what she might look like in real life.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That way we both win.
Yeah, I got the dream. Right.
All right, we need to get her off screen. I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything else. Goodness gracious. Oh, that was a lot.
Well, I think it's appropriate that this brings us to the newest installment in our show here. Stephen the Writing Dad he's not just a Joe fan.
No,
he's a family fan. He's a fan of dads everywhere, and he wants to help us do our thing. He has his own material on his website, on his Instagram, on his TikTok.
I do.
For length installments often. But for us, he just gives us.
How you doing, everybody? Thank you for the introduction. I'm Stephen the Writing Dad, and what I like to talk about is just parenting tips. It's so hard nowadays just to figure out what we're going to do as parents, what to do, what's the best method. There is no best method. All right, it takes all kinds. There are certain things that are true just for every kid in general, like teaching your kids about consequences. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. And I know that I've seen it both ways. I've done it both ways because I'm not always a hard ass, and sometimes this can be difficult to maintain that rigorous stance when you're trying to teach your kid some form of discipline. Here's why it's important. Okay, you got to teach them about consequences. It promotes a sense of responsibility. When they understand that their actions have consequences, it encourages them to take responsibility for their behavior. They will learn that their choices can have positive or negative outcomes. And that awareness is just fundamental for personal growth. And you notice this when you look at some adults in the workplace, at the shopping, and you're looking at these dudes are freaking idiots. Yeah, I don't want my kid to be an idiot. I want my kid to understand that your choices matter, right? And because you're doing that and you're teaching them about consequences, you're instilling that, and you are consistent in that, it fosters a sense of empathy because they understand that their choices can affect other people. So they'll take a little bit more time and they'll be more aware and they'll be more responsible and making these choices. And that's going to set them up for the future. It encourages self-control because that impulse, that making decisions off of emotions can be a tricky and dangerous slope. They need to sit down and they need to think about the choices that they make. And then when you, as the father, come in and you stick to your guns and you teach them, like, no, this is going to be the consequence of this action. This is going to be the consequence of this inaction, because not making a choice is a choice. It allows them to develop self-control. These are things that I try to implement as often as possible. Sometimes, especially when it comes with my little girl, it's a little difficult, especially when she gives me the pouty face. It's important because I want my kids to be great adults. I want my kids to be great in every aspect that they can be. And as a dad, as a parent, I know that you want that for your children as well. It doesn't start when they're older. We have to teach them these skills when they're younger so they build a foundation. And if you implement that solid foundation, everything in their life will build off a steady bedrock of good principles, good morals, and good directions. If you like what you heard today, please go to thewritingdad.com. We have a YouTube show that gives a little bit more breakdown in each episode. We also do interviews on that. That's at youtube.com at The Writing Dad Show. I also transcribe everything that goes on thewritingdad.com, and you'll also find my social medias at The One Writing Dad, at TikTok and Instagram. So remember, especially you fathers out there, you are necessary. It's hard work, but the rewards are plenty worth it.
All right. Truly sage words. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing just the tip.
Just the tip. For now. Later you get the whole
thing. It may turn into something else once you get those tips out.
That's
or in.
Yes. Hey.
You may get the whole thing.
Balls deep.
Yo. So on that, Stephen Writing Dad, and his links will be in the description down below. I am Agent Chuckles. I like to do social media things, and my links will also be down below in the description. If you've liked what you've seen here today, please be sure to like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
It's just a click of a button for you, but for me, it's just validation for me, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. This completes our first phase of our double-headed, I hadn't thought of a name for it, our double-speared, double-tipped Valentine's February spectacular.
That's right.
Our next Joe couple will come out on Sunday the 25th. So tune in to find out who we are pairing as a couple for that. I can tell you this: no one's going to get it. No one's going to get it. You're not going to get who this couple is. I guarantee you.
All right.
If you think about it, put it in the leave a comment about who your guesses are, and I'll show you how wrong you are on February 25th.
You're never going to get it. You're not going to win. It's just impossible. We got the game rigged.
Anyways, thank you for watching, everybody. Yo, Joe.
Later, guys.